at age 46, I finally learned that helping others is the most important thing in life. We're all in a rat race. Look at this. We're in a rat race. To go where? To go where? Why don't you stop and look at the people around you and say, can I help that person? Can I help that person? It's so important. That's all. I'm done.
They walk around right now so softly, laughing, giggling, looking at me, as if I'm nothing. But they don't realize that the ability they have to walk around, I gave a knee and an ankle for. You know what I'm saying? I gave a hand for their ability to look at me and call me a bum, or look at me and think that I don't work because I don't want to, So that's the cost I paid. I paid with my body, I paid with my heart, I paid with my time for people that really don't even appreciate it. That's my biggest struggle.
If you say that I'm oppressed, I could say the same thing about girls who walk around in miniskirts all day, or girls who feel like they have to dress a certain way or they have to do certain things to fit into culture. That, to me, is a sign of oppression. When you're not comfortable in your own skin enough to wear what you want to wear or identify how you want to identify, that, to me, is something that's a lot more scary than me putting this on my head and you assuming that I don't want to have it on there. Freedom for you is being able to wear what you want to wear and doing what you want to do. Well, who told you that that's what freedom looks like? Because you can't tell me what freedom looks like for me. I don't want anybody to tell me how to exist. I don't want anybody to tell me, let me take that scarf off your head and then you'll be free. Let me liberate you. What does your liberation mean for me? What do you think that you're doing for me that I can't do for myself? Don't be the other, or don't be these people who are here to save me. I got this, I'm good. I don't need anybody to help me.
Man, I don't want 40 acres in a mule. I drive a Jaguar, and I don't like bugs. I don't need nobody to take care of me. I'm a man, I take care of myself. When you blame other people for what's happening to you, what you do is you give them power. If you blame your parents that I didn't turn out this way because, my mother didn't bite me, the dog didn't scratch me, the cat didn't, my father, he wasn't there. I am the captain of my destiny. If I blame them and something happens to them, I'm saying only they could fix me, which is ludicrous. I'm the one that has to fix me.
They came to me one day and said, hey, we decided to go a different way. I thought I could find another job doing what I was doing exactly before, and it really took a while, almost a year, to get a position similar to where I was before. So over that year, it really humbles you. Quite honestly, it made me think about how much of a jerk I was. I remember going on LinkedIn and I'm starting to look for jobs, and I realized I had like 100 requests from people to be, my LinkedIn contact that I had just ignored, or people who had sent me notes or emails and said, hey, can you help me with X, Y, Z, that I had totally ignored because I never really needed anybody. Occasionally, if there was something in it for me, maybe I'd say, okay, I'll hook this guy up with that guy because there's something in it for me. But usually if there wasn't anything in it for me, I didn't really spend a lot of time doing anything about it. But now I'll look at it, read it, and if I can do something and say, hey, you know, maybe I can send your resume along, or if I can't do anything, I'll at least let them know that, hey, there's nothing I can really do. Not my industry. I don't know what you're looking for. So I think it at least made me cognizant of reaching back to people, because again, you never know when you might have to reach out to that person, or maybe they have a contact that you need for some other reason. And even forget all that. It's not even about it being about you and them being able to help you out someday. We should all just help each other if we can.
Everybody was screaming, yelling, people all over. Absolutely zero part of it, from the lingo to the outfits that people were wearing to what was going on, made zero sense whatsoever when I first started. They want their orders done quickly, and if you're not typing it quick enough, you're holding up that whole line of people basically waiting to do business in that one product. So if that crowd looks up and you're still typing, it's, you got that? You got that? Did you do it? Did you do it? I remember being really nervous that I was about to lose it, and the person that was actually shadowing me and making sure I was doing the right thing was watching over my shoulder, and I remember stepping back and saying to him, I'm going under. And I remember him putting his hands on my back and pushing me forward. He said, no, you're not. It's a big question all the time, you know, how is it being a woman down here? That's not something that ever came to be an issue for me. It really didn't. I always got along with guys better. I could see it bothering some people, but if you can handle listening to sports pretty much all day long, you'd be fine. Probably about 5 months ago, my sister was in the hospital battling cancer, and these guys that I work with couldn't have made the process any easier. Whether it was coming in from spending a night at the hospital and having breakfast sitting here, taking a cab together, just listening. My buddy here just keeping people away when it wasn't a good day to talk about it. Offering to call different doctors, ready to pull strings. Do you need a car up to the hospital? I didn't have to think about a thing when I was here, because it wasn't easy to come from there right to here. Walking away from my sister after she passed away was the hardest thing, because we hadn't left her alone. So that was that was a mind screw, to just have to walk away. Just all these guys showing up was touching. Like, they actually came afterwards to the services. Them taking the time out to drive, some of them 2 hours to be there, was a big deal to me. It's not like all of them stand right in front of you every day. There's ones you don't remember that you spoke to, or actually even were paying attention to what was going on. So to see people come and show support in that time is the best feeling in the world.
I think people shy away from old people, you know, ancient people, because they're afraid maybe you'll ask them to do something for them. All of a sudden, nobody calls, nobody bothers, and you're sort of left alone. And being alone, you know, is depressing. I had the good fortune of being picked by a Nazi victims organization to get some help at home. And she was a volunteer, and it turned out she was a dancer, and I had been a dancer in my previous life. Unfortunately, I was 80 years older than she, so there was no chance for any kind of romance. But it was just a friendly visit, and she helped me with the computer.
There was a class listing for visiting with a Holocaust survivor, and they matched me up with Alex based on both of us being dancers. In the way he says it is, la vida es una milonga, that life is a big dance, and that you have to learn the choreography to just keep going with it. Every time I visit him, every time I leave, those are the words he tells me.
I have become part of their family. The father comes and picks me up and takes me to a concert where He comes from downtown, drives up here to pick me up, and then we go all the way downtown to a concert together. It is unheard of. It is beautiful, it's wonderful, and it makes me feel so grateful and so happy to have them in my life.
So Zoe is pretty much at the limit of her life. However, we keep her as comfortable as possible. And so she's healthy for a senior citizen. You know, she's been with me through thick and thin, and I just love her so much. You know, it's the least I could do to pay my love and my respect back to her, because she's loved me unconditionally and she's taught me how to love unconditionally. Oh my gosh, it was a 20-year romance, an everyday affair. There was not a single day that went by without me using or drinking. Nothing scared me away. It never got, like, waking up in an ambulance or getting in trouble with the law, things of that nature never scared me away. But the thing that really hit my rock bottom was a spiritual rock bottom, which means back to the untangible things where I was completely alone. I was lonely, I was by myself, and like lost the trust of everybody in the world, like friends, family, everything in between. And I became a lonely person in this world. And again, back to her, lonely with the exception of Zoe, who never gave up on wagging her tail, licking me, coming up to me. I have her join me in prayer every single day of my life, and I tell her, Zoe, you don't have to be here anymore. You did your life. You saw me through full circle and everything. Like, I'm here to take care of you, but you've done your job, you know. You're welcome to live another day, and that's a gift, but you know, I'm ready.